Where's Rodney? By Carmen Bogan, illustrated by Floyd Cooper. Rodney was inside, but he wanted to be outside. Outside was where Rodney always wanted to be. Rodney is that kid who can't sit still. Then Rodney gets the chance to be more outside than he's ever been before, and that makes all the difference. Rodney, where's Rodney? Once again, Rodney wasn't in his seat, and Miss Garcia had had enough. But Rodney had interesting things to do, like watch a big black bird soar over the cafeteria that smelled like yesterday's lunch, or catch a tiny pill bug creeping along the windowsill. He stood on his tippy toes to find the stray dog that bullied the neighborhood. Rodney was inside, but he wanted to be outside. Outside was where Rodney always wanted to be. Miss Garcia let out a long, deep sigh. She stepped behind Rodney and tapped him on the shoulder. Rodney, join the class. The word of the week is majestic, Miss Garcia said. Majestic. Can you tell us what it means? Rodney looked around the room. There were a million eyes looking back. Nope. Miss Garcia took another deep breath. Rodney balanced on one foot like a pink flamingo. Sue Lin giggled and covered her mouth. Then he hopped into the air like a cricket. Cotty chuckled. Then Rodney stretched out his arms like an eagle soaring high above the... Sit down, Rodney, Miss Garcia said. The whole class roared with laughter. Okay. Majestic means grand and beautiful. Rodney, if you can't do your work, you won't be able to go on the field trip to the park on Friday. But Rodney didn't care. He knew all about the park. It was a small triangle-shaped patch of yellow grass next to the corner store and the bus stop. It had one large cardboard trash can and two benches where some grown-ups sat all day long. Yes, Rodney knew the park well. Anyway, Mama said to stay far away from that park. When the 3 o'clock bell rang, Rodney ran outside. He darted across the street past Miss Jackson, the crossing guard. Walk, she yelled, but he ran. He ran past the corner store. He ran past the bus stop. Then he ran past the triangle-shaped patch of yellow grass and the two benches and the broken gate where the bully dog slept. Now he could see Mama peeping out the window. She opened the door and gave him a big hug. I'm glad you're inside, she said, but outside was where Rodney wanted to be. Very early on Friday, the old yellow bus squeaked, jerked, and rattled out of the school parking lot. Even before it reached the front gate, Sue Lin and Amina were singing and playing clapping games. Everyone was excited, but not Rodney, and he knew that when they got to the park, they would all see that he was right. Parks are no big deal. The bus turned the corner onto 2nd Street, but Rodney thought that the bus driver must be lost because he drove past the bus stop, past the corner store, and even past the patch of yellow grass. Sue Lin and Amina kept singing and clapping. The old school bus rumbled, rolled, and creaked farther and longer than Rodney had ever been. Rodney gazed out the window. He stared at the white lines in the middle of the great highway. He counted the big trucks that passed the bus. He leaned to see the birds float above the fields of tall, dry grass. He watched the people in wide straw hats picking fruits and vegetables in neat rows. The old bus clanked, coughed, and choked. It climbed higher and higher until a great mountain swallowed it whole. At the other end of the tunnel, the mountain spit out the old bus into a flash of sunshine. No one laughed, no one talked, and no one wiggled. Sue Lynn and Amina even stopped singing. "Look, everyone," Miss Garcia announced. "It's the park." And finally, Rodney was outside. At the park, he was higher. He was lower. He was bigger. He was smaller. He was louder. He was quieter. He was faster. He was slower. Rodney was outside, more outside than he had ever been before. The sun sank in the sky. It was time to leave. Some of the children chattered and giggled. Some munched on leftovers. Others dozed. Sue Lynn and Amina sang more songs. "Where's Rodney?" Miss Garcia asked. Rodney was sitting quietly, gazing out the window. Miss Garcia sat beside him. "Do you like the park, Rodney?" "Oh, yes," he said softly. "It's majestic." To have your own majestic experience in a park, start by researching county, state, or national parks. Many parks are accessible via public transportation. Some will require having a car. Fees to enter parks will vary. Check to see if park is offering a fee-free day. Be sure to bring a backpack containing water for the day, at least 1 liter, snacks, and lunch for a picnic. Also bring sun protection, extra clothing, and athletic or hiking shoes. It is a good idea to have a map of where you're going, which can be found at most park visitor centers. A cell phone or GPS may not always work. For a more structured experience in nature, consider a program sponsored by a park partner. Park partners are organizations whose purpose is to support parks and the enjoyment of them. You can join an expert naturalist guide for a walk or trek, or arrange for a group visit to your favorite park. Yosemite Conservancy provides custom outdoor adventure programs to help families connect with the wonders of Yosemite National Park. Natural Bridge offers schools, students, and families multi-day environmental education programs in 6 national park locations. You can find similar organizations at many parks. However, you plan to visit a park, the most important thing is to have fun in a special, protected place that belongs to all people. It can be a life-changing experience. Dream On Publishing is an independent, multicultural children's book publisher established in 2013 by author Carmen Bogan. Our goal is to promote literacy for children of color by producing high-quality children's literature that reflects their interests and their lives. We believe that every child deserves to read about characters that look like them, celebrate their cultures, and lift up their legacies. Dream On Publishing is proud to partner with Yosemite Conservancy on this book. Carmen Bogan is the author of the picture book Granny, Who is God, and is the recipient of the New Voices Literary Award from Lee and Low Publishers for her middle grade story, Fit Like Frankie. She is a member of the Oakland Literacy Coalition and is a writing coach for children and youth. Whereas Rodney grew out of her experience working with nonprofit organizations supporting public health through outdoor experiences for low-income children. Carmen has 2 daughters, Erin Danielle and Natalie Quinn, and lives in Oakland, California with her husband Willie. You can visit her online at dreampublishing.com. Floyd Cooper began drawing at 3 years old and has now illustrated more than 100 books for children. He received the Coretta Scott King Award for his illustrations in The Blacker the Berry, and 3 Coretta Scott King honors for his illustrations in Brown Honey and Broom Wheat Tea, I Have Heard of a Land, and Meet Denitra Brown. Born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma, he received a degree in fine arts from the University of Oklahoma, and after graduating, worked as an artist for a major greeting card company. He lives in Easton, Pennsylvania with his growing family, Velma, Kai, Dayton, Melissa, and grandson Nico. You can visit him online at www.floydcooper.com. This has been Where's Rodney by Carmen Bogan, illustrated by Floyd Cooper, read by Aunt KiKi. Good night.